In a world of endless fandoms, one podcast dares to cover them all. Welcome to Between Two Batcaves, your go-to HQ for everything from comics to the screen and all the IP in between.
Join your hosts, Austin and Jordan, for weekly coverage of the comics, shows, and blockbuster hits that keep us coming back for more. So thanks for hanging with us and being part of the next entry into the Batcave saga.
All right, hello, and thanks for hanging with us today on this episode of Between Two Batcaves. We are your hosts. I am Austin Luke, and he is Jordan Brownstein. And today, we are looking forward into the year of 2026 with our 2026 hype rankings. But before we can get into all that, if you like what we're doing over here on Between Two Batcaves, let us know. A couple ways that you can do that. First, if you're listening to the show, follow the pod on the podcast platform of your choice to stay up to date from all the latest from Jordan and I. Next, you can leave a 5-star review and leave a quick little rating. Type out a couple sentences. Let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. Preferably right. We would prefer that, but hey.
Either way.
Feedback is feedback. So, lastly, share the pod with a friend. We're going to be going through a lot of different projects today that we're looking forward to in 2026. So if you hear one that you're looking forward to, that you might know somebody else that they're looking forward to it, send this pod to them so y'all can stay up to date with Between Two Batcaves and our coverage of these projects. If you're watching the show on YouTube, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share the show as well. That is at youtube.com/@between2batcaves.
You're coming in here with the URL link.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
You're ready to go.
Listen, I am ready to go.
You're ready
You
to
want to
pod.
type that in to the search bar up above you. If you're watching on your laptop, listen on your laptop, might as well just type that in. That's what I'm saying. So go check us out on YouTube. YouTube's kind of popping off. I got to say, we're up to almost 40 subscribers. Getting a lot of love on the YouTube. So that's
not
awesome.
too bad. Yeah, we appreciate that for sure. We're having a lot of fun.
Speaking of growing, we're growing on the other socials as well. We are on Insta, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Blue Sky. We are everywhere at Between Two Batcaves, except for Twitter, because for some reason we had to be B2 Batcaves over there. We can also
everything makes sense on the app formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah. Everything over there is just the way it should be.
Just perfect.
We can also be reached at between2batcaves@gmail.com for anything else. So that's all the socials. Like I said, we're growing. Appreciate all the love over there recently, Jordan. We're almost up to 100 on Insta. That's fun.
Steadily growing. I like every time somebody else joins us, I feel our ranks grow. And I get more and more invigorated to just keep on potting.
I really like it when you will text me and be like, dude, why are people engaging with us? And I just don't have an answer. I don't know. But I love the fact that people really, really do. I love the fact that people
appreciate
what we're doing.
And it's not like people are just like, yes, this is good or yes, this is bad. But we're getting like thoughtful, intentional responses. And
like paragraphs.
You know what? Like, I think that just goes to show, people out there, the listening general public, they know what they're talking about.
That they do. Yeah. That's everything I've got for the getting the show out there. Jordan, you want to let people know what we're doing today?
Yeah, we got a few news items to hit in the Oracle report today. Also, I don't know if you have anything that you haven't shared.
You're going to have to lead me through.
Yeah, you've been in the weeds in your own way the past week or so.
I've been hitting the books.
So let me catch you up. And then why we're here today is, like Austin mentioned, we are going to be ranking the top 15 IP TV projects and movies that we're excited about for 2026. So we've each independently come up with a list of our top 15, and we're going to kind of go back and forth and just talk about what we're most excited about that's coming this year.
A hard exercise, I will say. I had a hard time narrowing it down to 15.
I will say I have an honorable mentions list, and I also have a list of projects that probably would have made it if we weren't just limiting it to IP. So
we got to get a couple sneaks in there. We got to sneak in a few things to make 15 really more like 25.
Come on. you know what we're doing here. Uh, as for what's coming later, like later this month, um, next week on this feed, it's 2026. It's a new year. We don't really quite know exactly what's coming down the pipe, but aside from the fact that we'll be here and we'll be talking about the stuff that we love, we got.
I
What are
had
you
an
thinking?
idea that we can workshop off screen, but kind of just in real time here. I want to get your thoughts. So, looking forward into 2026 after this list, what if we picked some of these projects and kind of like worked on a between two Batcaves like curated rewatch list? Like for
I've
some of
thought
these
about that
projects.
too, like taking some inspiration from friends
Mm
from work,
hmm. Mm
some of
hmm.
the other pods that we like that, take the time to, in the lead up to some of these massive
Yeah.
projects, get everybody
Like we
kind of
could spend some
primed,
time. Yeah. 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 I think that'd be fun.
go
I
back,
don't
watch
know.
some
We'll
old
see if we
Avengers
have enough
movies.
time, but
I mean,
um,
as we just mentioned, had the difficulty in trimming our list to 15. It's not like we have a lack of new stuff to cover this year. So it's going to
but
kind of
this
be,
week is a lull because Night of the Seven Kingdoms doesn't start until Sunday the 18th. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure. So, which I don't even know if we'll be talking about that. I don't. We're getting too far down the road now. We'll
yeah,
talk offline, but I had that idea and I thought it would be fun, not to obviously start a rewatch, but maybe just like create the lists
yeah,
for the rewatches.
yeah. I think that's definitely something that we should look into, especially
Yep.
like an Avengers movie coming,
Mando and Grogu.
Spider-Man, Mando Grogu. Well, yeah, that's a lot sooner than I think a lot of people realize coming out Memorial Day weekend.
Yep.
Um, all that to say, if there's stuff that you guys are excited about that's coming out, this month, next month, early this year, that you'd like to hear us talk about, shoot us a message, comment on one of our posts, let us know, because there's a lot of stuff going on, and we're still in the process of, figuring out what this channel is going to look like over the next few months. Um, that all being said, we got a few things we got to talk about.
Yes, we do.
Um, I think it's time to fire up this week's Oracle report and talk some Batman, talk some Avengers. I mean, tent poles. Um, I want to start first here. This is per the Hollywood Reporter. I think it was in one of like their email newsletters that they send out, just like in a little footnote almost. So I think we talked in the pod previously about Sebastian Stan being cast in the Batman Part 2. Did that come up last week? Or did that happen in our
Ye-
bye week, basically?
that happened, and yeah, no, that happened. We have not discussed it.
Okay. Then for the uninitiated, Sebastian Stan, our very own Bucky Barnes in the MCU, is officially cast in a starring role in the Batman Part 2. This was news as of about a week ago or so. And in the past few days, the Hollywood Reporter put out that he is going to be playing Harvey Dent slash Two-Face in this movie. That was kind of like the suspected role that he would be playing, and it makes sense. But now we kind of have the confirmation from one of the major trades that this is the character that he's going to be playing. Um, Let me turn it over to you for your first thoughts. One, on Sebastian Stan becoming a major part of the Batman Part 2, and two,
Mm.
Sebastian Stan playing Harvey Dent.
Yeah, I love Sebastian Stan. I think obviously in this space, and I would say honestly, probably to a lot of people, they're most familiar with him through his portrayal of Bucky Barnes in the MCU. I think that was really a defining role for Sebastian Stan in terms
An
of
ongoing role as we sit here
an
today.
ongoing. That's a
He's
great
going to
point.
be in Doomsday.
And I mean, he took a character that by all means was a sidekick and turned him into a household name, a beloved character. I mean, uh, what we get out of him in Thunderbolts is just
It's
phenomenal. I
awesome.
mean,
Yeah.
one of the highlights of that movie. Really looking forward to getting him the next iteration of Bucky as we close up the multiverse saga of the MCU. That aside, yeah, no, this is awesome. I am excited to get Sebastian Stan and the talent that he brings to the Batman Part 2. And
Mm-hmm.
quite frankly, Two Face, I think, is pretty spot on. I by no means had like I fan cast Bucky Barnes or Sebastian Stan as Two-Face. Like the thought never crossed my mind, but it's just one of those roles that like when you sent it to me, I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. Of course he's Two-Face. I think
Yeah.
that he could nail this role. Now we got obviously a really like defining portrayal of the character in the Nolan trilogy
Hmm.
for the character of Two-Face.
Aaron Eckhart.
Yeah, Aaron Eckhart. And I think that Sebastian Stan could almost bring like a little bit more of like the wacky, zany, just like off his rocker type of, not to say that the portrayal of Two-Face that we got wasn't absolutely crazy, because he was, but just a little bit more of that like cartoony caricature version of the character. I think Sebastian Stan could really bring like the dichotomy of like, you know, you have the Jekyll and Hyde within the character.
Yeah, I think one thing you see from Eckhart's portrayal in The Dark Knight is that before the inciting incident that turns him into Two-Face, he pretty much is the White Knight.
He's the White Knight,
Like
yeah.
very much by the book. He's doing things the right way. He's gonna, he's a bit of a maverick in that, like in doing that, but within the confines of, following the law and staying by the book. I think there's an opportunity here to do, like you said, a bit of a twist on that, where even before he becomes Two-Face, this version of Harvey Dent is a bit more morally gray.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is something that Sebastian Stan does very well. I think Sebastian Stan is one of the prime examples of somebody who kind of got their start in the MCU. Really, like that was his claim to fame. Got to start in one of these IP universes, has branched out and done more indie, um,
Mm-hmm.
small budget type projects. Like he did The Apprentice, A Different Man. He's done a lot of these kind of like indie, original creative projects, while
Yeah.
also still maintaining like a major role in the MCU, which I think is something we should briefly talk about. Like Bucky's not making it out of Doomsday.
No, no. This
Uh,
will be the last we see of James Buchanan Barnes.
yeah, I mean, I would say like minus 500 that he's dying in Doomsday, and like minus 5,000 that he doesn't make it out of Secret Wars at the very least.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that he takes a role like this on, unless his schedule is clear and he's not going to be required on set for Secret Wars for anything
There would
extensive.
be some pretty big contract negotiations that had to happen in order for him to play both, and I don't foresee that happening.
Yeah, but you know what? I think we are at the point where now Bucky Barnes at the end of Thunderbolts, I mean, he doesn't have much more developing to do as a character. He has gone through
No.
and processed his trauma. He's made amends for what he did as the Winter Soldier. He stepped into a leadership role on the New Avengers,
Yep.
and I mean, he's gonna reunite with Steve. Like he's gonna have a moment in Doomsday. His story's gonna come full circle, and I think he is a prime character to go out honorably in Doomsday.
When it is his time, it will feel appropriate, I think.
Yeah. I must put to bed my dreams of getting a gender swapped Poison Ivy with Sebastian Stan playing what would Pamela Isley, I don't know. We'll have to workshop that, but we're not getting a gender swap Poison Ivy. Scarlett Johansson, we don't know what her role is yet in this movie. There's still a lot of speculation that she's going to be playing Andrea
What
Beaumont
fun
from
that we're getting.
What a
both of
trio.
them.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay, so cast of the Batman Part 2, we've subtracted Zoe Kravitz, we've added Scarlett Johansson and Sebastian Stan to Marvel stars. It's interesting what they're doing there.
With proven chemistry, just saying.
Yes, very true. Obviously, Robert Pattinson, Jeffrey Wright. I'm sure Andy Serkis will be back as Alfred. And I think they did confirm that we will see Barry Keoghan's Joker again. So,
Oh, I think you're right, yeah.
so this movie is not going to be, unfortunately, on our hype rankings for 2026 because it is not coming out yet.
It's not
It's not coming out
in
this year.
2026.
But the name of our pod indicates, we will talk about Batman news whenever we get the chance.
How funny would it be if we didn't cover the Batman when it came out. Just
Just like a little bit. We're
yeah,
just doing a
yeah.
bit here.
We never talk anything Batman on the pod. It's just the namesake.
We're between the Batcaves. We're not in the Batcaves. We're in the in-between space.
Makes perfect sense.
All right. Any other thoughts on Sebastian Stan, Harvey Dent, Two-Face, Batman Part 2?
No, this is great. I
Okay.
like you said, it's a long way out, but cast
Dude's a
building.
beast.
I'm liking everything that's happening. He's a beast. Looking forward to having him in the ensemble.
All right. Speaking of Doomsday, this is obviously a project that will be, I am assuming, ranking quite high on both of our hype lists. So we don't have to talk about Doomsday itself very much here, but we have gotten, since our last conversation, one new officially released teaser trailer for Doomsday, and there's another that's leaked. So the one that's been officially released and has been released online, is playing in theaters, is an X-Men teaser. We get Sir Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen back in their roles as Professor X and Magneto. They're having a conversation about life and death in the ruins of Xavier's mansion, and it's just another one of these little quick, vibe tone setter type teasers. We get the voiceover. We kind of get to go through the ruins of the mansion, but this is a big but. This trailer had a moment. We get James Marsden as Cyclops in the comic accurate blue and yellow costume, shooting a concussive blast into the sky with a sentinel walking behind him through the ruins of Xavier's
Pause
mansion.
right there, because you can keep going through this trailer, but we did.
That's all I have to say.
The sentence you just said is yes, we did. We got that.
Cyclops is back, better than ever, shooting concussive blasts out of trauma, and we're living.
Dude, okay, so all over the place. My first question is, do you think that we would have gotten this the way that we got this without the success of X-Men 97? Like, I obviously, like, when you put the times together, like, it probably, like, kind of happened in tandem, like, but
You mean the centering of the Fox X-Men as one of the pillars of these Avengers movies, or like framing them
the centering
in
of the trailer, like the way that we got Scott in his comic accurate, like the way that Scott himself was portrayed. Do you think that the success of X-Men 97 had like an influence on like the editing of the trailer?
Yes, I do think so, because I think I don't think the fact that the X-Men are centered like this as like a major part of Doomsday, I don't think that's directly tied to the success of X-Men 97, but I think you're right that ending on Cyclops in basically his X-Men 97 costume, just getting an aura moment like that, I think is a direct result of the character rehab that X-Men 97 did for Cyclops. And I think, I mean, honestly, like, I know both of us love James Marsden. I think everybody recognizes that the material that he was given to work with in the Fox X-Men movies was lacking, but that he is right for the character on 100%. On paper. And so to finally, to get the character rehab of X-Men 97, to have like the potential of James Marsden that's been there for 25 years and put those together and just give us like, I don't think the scene's going to be in the movie, honestly. The scene that we get in the teaser, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see that. But just to give like end on that note, and I mean, it tells us a lot about the kind of the version of the X-Men that we're going to be getting in this movie.
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. Yeah. I don't have like anything like intellectual to say. All I have to say is this was freaking awesome. This was so freaking cool, man. Oh my gosh. It like growing up, because we grew up watching the Fox X-Men movies, and to like have this come full circle to like get this type of like payoff with these characters that we grew up. And when I say grew up, I mean like these came out when we were like 6, 7,
Yeah.
8, like when we were young, like these were formative. And to
Oh
like
yeah.
be now like so steeped in the lore and the culture of all these things, you know, obviously like we love this stuff. We love this stuff so much. And to bring it back to these characters that we grew up watching and loving, and now to like have them realized in the format and like in the way that we want to see them through expanding our knowledge and our love for the
It's
subject
very
matter,
rewarding. Yeah.
it's awesome. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
I want to save the bulk of like the substantive talk about Doomsday for the hype rankings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I have some thoughts about like the trailer and the reaction to it, but I'm going to save it for that section.
Okay.
Let me just ask you before we move into the next segment here, because this is all I have for the Oracle report. Before we move off of this Doomsday teaser talk, did you see the leaked teaser? I think I might have sent it to you.
I saw screenshots. I have not seen the leaked trailer.
Okay. So I'll just talk about it very briefly. It's, I mean, another one of like similar type vibes, teasers. So spoilers if you don't want to hear anything about teasers that have not officially been released either in theaters or online. Okay, anybody who's still here, you've been warned. We get the final teaser, or I think it's the final teaser until probably the Super Bowl, features the Wakandans. It features Namor, and it features Ben Grimm. It looks like this is kind of we're catching back up a little bit with the status quo in Wakanda. We get a voiceover from Shuri. M'Baku shows up as King of Wakanda, and you get a meeting in the desert between M'Baku and Ben Grimm the Thing, and it's just another one of these like character grouping establishments. This is probably, I had like the most muted reaction to this one out of the 4, but it is just kind of cool. I mean, this is the first time we've seen any of these Wakandan or Talakanese characters since 2022. So to check back in with them, Namor's got a bit of an update to his costume, and to see M'Baku and the Thing interact on, you know, in full form is
what
pretty
a
cool.
duo. That's a cool duo.
They'd be doing a lot of clobbering.
I texted you when you sent me the screenshots of this, and like I said, I haven't seen the trailer yet, but what I did say to you is that this does mean that Sue Storm and Namor are officially 1 degree of separation. And that's problematic. For those who know, you know.
Reed,
Sue Storm, Reed needs to be looking out because Sue is now within arm's distance of Namor, and Namor, he likes her right there.
Yes, he does. It's troubling to think about. Yeah, man, it's just I think this is the last of the little character teasers that we're going to be getting. That makes 4 of them, and we're about a month out now from the Super Bowl, which I'm anticipating our reveal of Doctor Doom during that teaser. So
I would,
much more to say about Doomsday. We will save that for the hype rankings. Mm-hmm. Suffice to say, this teaser trailer marketing rollout, I think, has been a success. So we'll leave it at that. Yeah. We'll leave it at that. Get back into it a little bit more as we move along here. Austin, you got anything for me either in the Oracle report, anything you want to catch me and our listeners up about with what's going on your end of things?
Dude, you know I've been offline this week. So yes, no. However, I do want to catch you up on a couple of things. So our last episode, our Stranger Things finale episode, you gave me your updated final 2025 list of 20 movies that came out in 2025 that you watched in 2025. I have updated my list for 3 movies I have seen. 2 of them I technically watched in 2026, but within the first couple of days of 2026, so I'm counting it. So I just wanted to give you my updated final list.
All right.
Because I've seen 3 movies that I've added, and I think you might be shocked at their placement.
I have a feeling I know one is going to be very high.
It is. Yeah, you know exactly which one is going to be very high. But just so you know, the 3 movies I added were Avatar, Fire and Ash, The Roofman, and F1. I watched The Roofman and F1. We watched Avatar, Fire and Ash together. We covered it on the pod. If you haven't listened to that, go check it out. I watched F1 and Roofman last weekend. Both really, really good. So I added them to my 2025 rankings list, and I'm just going to run through my top 10 here for you. So coming in at number 10, I have K-pop Demon Hunters. Number 9, I have Fantastic Four. Number 8, I have The Roof Man. The
Higher
Roof
than
Man,
Fantastic Four.
yeah. Uh, it's been a while since I've seen a really, really good rom-com, and this is that. It's like it hits that like really, really good, just like kind of mid 2000s rom com vibe. You get Channing Tatum, you get Kirsten Dunst. It's a really good, funny story. It's based on a true story um, of a crime spree that happened in the early 2000s. But it's also like deeply like troubling and traumatic and just like sad. Like the things that our main character, portrayed by Channing Tatum, goes through and also like does onto others. It's like deeply troubling and a really sad story, but also like hilarious. I really had fun with this movie. Um, Number 7, I have Predator: Killer of Killers. Number 6, Thunderbolts. Number 5, Avatar: Fire and Ash. Number 4, Superman. Number 3, Wake Up Dead Man. Number 2, F1. And number 1, Sinners. You're muted. You're muted.
F1 at 2. That's I
You're
knew it was
darn
going to
right,
be
buddy.
high. I
Dude,
you
I've been texting you about it. It's
you have.
so good. I rewatched it last night.
Uh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a 3-hour movie. Em and I watched it last night.
Is it just that you can just kind of sit back, put your feet up, and watch cars go fast and listen to cool music
100%.
for a while?
100%. It's
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. The story's cool. It's like rookie meets veteran. Like
Very kind of by the books type story, as far as I understand
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like
There's
you're not
definitely
going
like
there
some
for
cheesy
yeah.
writing. There's definitely some like acting on the part of like some people, not on like Brad Pitt or Damson Idris. Speaking of Black Panther, some rumors going around there again. But
Oh yeah.
like our main guy, our main cast is great. We have a cool story. You don't have to think about it too hard, but the way they shoot this movie, the way it looks, the way it sounds, it's just freaking awesome. I love it. I love it so
I'm so
much.
happy for you, man. You needed this. You needed a movie like this in your life right now.
Dude, I did. And like I told you, I need to stop listening to the soundtrack on my drive to work in the morning because I've been taking some
Gonna get
turns
somebody in trouble.
at a dangerous speed. It's pretty bad.
They got to make sure that there's no aux connection in the engine for the fire truck engine. That'll put you in harm's way.
So that's my new top 10
I'm happy
list.
for you. I'm happy for it.
It's so
You deserve
good.
a
It's
movie
so
like
good.
that. Yeah, I think I put out my final rankings on our last episode, so go check that out. And I remember I posted it on our socials, just my letterbox rankings. I have watched one movie so far in 2026. Maddie and I last night watched Harry Potter 5, Order of the Phoenix. It was good. Great, like final 30 minutes or so. But probably so in this rewatch, like in earnest, we've watched 3 now through 5. So 3, 4, and 5. Rankings at this point are probably 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so next we got Half-Blood Prince, I think. So keeping things rolling here in 2026 with the Harry Potter Watch-a-thon.
Now, before we get into the reviews or into our hype ranking, I want to real quick take a second. Like I said, we've been having a lot of engagement on the socials, and I want to take a
Please,
second.
this is
here
good.
because
You got something pulled out?
I want to start taking a minute to like kind of like highlight some of the best comments that we get throughout the week or something, or like any like particular engagement that we find really like fun. Really, oh hey Bubba, this is Benny. Everybody watching.
That's Bubba.
And hey, sit. Thank you. So I got 2 things to point out. So first of all, from Instagram, this is from Adam Secret on Instagram. This is on our clip. I think we're talking about Joyce chopping off Vecna's head. The comment, this is my favorite comment of the week, is not gonna lie. If the Stranger Things kids were Italian, 100% their moms in robes and curlers in their hair would have marched up to the upside down and ripped Vecna limb from limb, and there's nothing he could have done.
Yep. Real Housewives
I
crossover.
I not once did I think to myself, what would happen if the mothers in Stranger Things were Italian? But now I know. Now I
It's
know.
Carmela Soprano versus Vecna in the secret episode.
I got a lot of a lot of joy out of that comment.
A lot of Joyce.
Joyce out of that comment. Now, second thing I want to shout out here is an engagement from TikTok that we've had. This is actually I forget what videos were commented on. But this is from Paper Walls on TikTok. Kind of DM'd with him back and forth. He had some thoughts about Stranger Things, and I just wanted to take a minute because he took a lot of time and thought into reaching out to us and letting us know some of his thoughts for Stranger Things. So I'm just gonna read this out here. Okay, so what were the major complaints I've had about the season finale? The boss battle was short and underwhelming. There were too many plot holes. Nobody died. Feel free to add to this because I love discussing. I'm going to try and address in separate messages so it's easy to read. So his first message following that is, so my first and most important point involves the boss battle, that it was too short and too easy. I would argue it wasn't short. The physical fight of the party versus the monster was short, but we have to remember that the battle started much earlier than that. They have been actively fighting for pretty much the whole episode. The best comparison I can give you is from my childhood. I only remember one movie right now, but I remember a ton of movies where the boss goes super only to be beat pretty quick. Super Shredder is my best example in Ninja Turtles. The reason the physical fight was so short for a very important reason, too. The party was all together and completely unified. Volume 2 was about bringing the party to unity. Will, against his mind, getting Max back, inviting their loved ones into the fight, and being unified in their plan. It all fit. Finally, Jonathan and Steve hashed things out, and Hop chose trust with Elle. Sure, the monster was terrifying, and they knew its weaknesses, and they had a plan. It felt like a D&D finale where everyone came in prepared. This was the first time of the entire show that they all planned together and trusted each other. Thoughts?
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's totally valid.
Yeah, I like everything you point out there, and yeah, I mean, he's right here. It was short, but I haven't really put it into perspective. Yeah, it's short because they were prepared. I mean, they've been preparing for this for seasons upon seasons. I mean, they know what they're doing. They're going in prepared, and they executed the plan perfectly.
I think
so.
My main complaint about the final fight is not that it was too short, but I just think it could have been more creative and could have involved the hive mind psychic aspect of things a little bit more, whereas what we get is kind of just more physical melee type stuff. Although we do get Will speaking to Henry, I think kind of throughout that, but it doesn't really lead anywhere. But I totally agree that like it is really cathartic and fulfilling to see the whole team have a long-term plan come together and kind of execute it effectively for the most part.
Yeah, so I appreciate you, Paper Walls, for sending all that. He sent a lot more. There's a lot more communication from Paper Walls that we don't have time to get into today. But just know, Paper Walls, we really appreciate that engagement. We love getting comments like that. And to anybody else out there who has thoughts, send them our way. We would love to talk about them on the show.
And we make a point to try to engage with everybody who engages with us. So
yes,
that's we love the conversation.
Okay, so that's the comments corner. Keep them coming. I do believe we are ready to get into our hype draft, though. Or not draft, our hype rankings.
Our hype rankings. So the way this is going to work, Austin, you kind of explained it earlier. We both independently put together a list of the top 15 IP projects that we're excited about coming out this year. There will almost certainly be some overlap. So if and when that happens, we'll talk about that specific project at the higher of the two rankings that we have. Take inspiration from the House of R and their hype rankings. A lot of inspiration from them for this episode specifically. So we'll go ahead and not reinvent the wheel in that respect. Pretty simple. We'll talk about what we're excited about for each of these projects. I have a few questions about some of these things that I'll put to you, and I'm sure you have some for me. And then maybe we'll hit some honorable mentions at the very end.
Okay, you want to do honorable mentions at the end?
Yeah, because I might have some things in my honorable mentions that you have on the list.
Okay,
and vice versa.
Cool. Yep.
So whatever we have left over, we can hit. And then
so we're starting at 15, working down, right?
Yeah, and I also, since I made a point to strictly limit my top 15 to IP projects, because of that, I have another segment of things that I am excited about that are coming this year in movie and TVs that don't necessarily qualify as IP, so I just give some quick shout outs to them at the end too.
I do not have that list, but for anybody listening, just know that I am also cultured, and I want to see those movies too. I just didn't make a separate list.
Hey, we'll get there. We'll talk about them.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. We'll start at 15, and I will kick it over to you. What is your 15th highest excited about this year?
Yeah. Okay, so just to clarify, just for like terminology here, we're ranking based on anticipation, excitement, hype, things that we're most anticipated for, things that we most want to see. We understand that it might not be the best project, it might not be the groundbreaking, but we are just excited to watch it. That is what this is based off of. Personal preference. This is completely bias filled. This is just our list, okay?
This is just us riffing.
So, number 15 for me is something that I think you won't have on your list.
Ooh, okay.
My number 15 is Monarch: Legacy of Monsters Season 2.
Oh, okay. I do not have this on my list, and I don't even have it in honorable mentions, although I did start season 1 like when it came out, and I watched like the first half of the first season and really, really enjoyed it, but just kind of fell off, and I just have never gotten back into it. So
yeah, man,
tell me why you're excited about season 2.
So, like you said, season 1 was kind of a surprise. It's Apple TV, I want to say. It's an Apple TV Plus show. It kind of came out like right after like we had the big boom a few years back of like the MonsterVerse with Godzilla, King Kong, Godzilla X Kong, all that stuff. Still ongoing, obviously. Monarch Legacy of Monsters came out kind of at the tail end of that, and it was just this really cool show that wasn't particularly like a deep like driven story.
It's a prequel. It's a prequel series about this company Monarch, whose whole purpose is to like hunt and track and control the monsters on Earth. Yeah, the kaijus, exactly.
And it's it's pretty cut and dry story. Yeah, it's this secret government agency set out to find and subdue or capture these monsters. Well enough, cool story because I just like monsters. I think cryptids and mythical creatures are very cool. What I really like about the show is
too.
It is cool. Yeah, I mean, hey, Captain America. We have Wyatt Russell in the show.
U.S. agent.
Yeah, U.S. agent.
And Kirk Russell, right? Kurt Russell.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, we have both.
He was in season 1 at least, because we got what I enjoyed about what I've seen of season 1 was you kind of have like two time periods that they're following.
Yeah,
I think it was like the 50s when they first started discovering kaijus.
Yeah, it was like during the Korean War,
more contemporary, and you have Kurt and Wyatt Russell playing like older and younger versions of the same character.
Yeah, which is a lot of fun.
Cool conceit. And then obviously Anna Sawai, Mariko Sama from Shogun is one of the leads in the show too. We love Anna Sawai.
So I just what I like about the show is just the monsters. It looks cool. It sounds cool. I just love thinking about like the process that goes into creating these monsters, designing them. What do they look like? What do they sound like? What powers do they have? And just like seeing that put on screen is a lot of fun. I just love monsters. I love mythical creatures. I'm excited for a second season of this just to see the monsters. That's it.
Heck yeah. This is one that I didn't have on my radar at all, and I'm excited that you do.
I want to say it comes out in February of 2026.
Yeah, we're close. I got to maybe try and go back and catch up on season 1 because I did enjoy it. 15, you might have this higher on your list. I don't know. I have The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah, we'll talk
Do you
about
have it
that
higher?
later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then let's go up to 14. What do you have at 14?
Okay, another series that I don't know if you're going to have on your list, to be honest, is my number 14 is going to be Blade Runner 2099.
All right. Yeah, you cook. I don't have this on my list.
Okay, so it is currently set for a let's see, a 2026 release. I don't think that it has been narrowed in to a time frame yet, but this is basically a story. It's set 50 years after the events of Blade Runner 2049, which we got. When did that movie come out? I don't remember at this point. It's been a while,
It was
but
like late 2010s, I think, maybe like 2019.
yeah.
It was
But
pre-COVID.
we got hold on, I'm trying to find the cast here because there we go. Yeah, because I know Michelle Yeoh is attached to this project,
Yes.
which got me really excited. We have Hunter Schafer attached to this project. Yeah, I mean, Blade Runner is like one of those properties that I don't know like a ton about like the lore like I do something like a Star Wars or something, like a Marvel project, but I love like the feel and the vibe of the world
Yeah.
that they set. This show is going to be set in a like a futuristic version of Los Angeles, which I think is
Ooh,
pretty cool.
that will be cool. Kind of like
Um
cyberpunk coded.
hmm And yeah, man, I mean, I think what really kind of got this on my list is just the surprise hit that was Alien Earth this year. Having like this legacy
Some interesting
sequel
synergy there. Yeah.
series from an 80s property kind of got me hype again for I mean that's exactly what this is. It's like a legacy sequel series from an 80s property. I think this could be a surprise hit, just like Alien Earth was.
I like that you have this in here. I've seen Blade Runner 2049, the one with Ryan Gosling. Really liked it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I saw the OG Blade Runner with Harrison Ford like when I was growing
Mhm.
up. Don't really remember it. I'm not like too steeped in the lore. One thing I think is interesting as like a contrast between this and Alien Earth is Alien Earth is a prequel to Alien and the Alien lore
That's a
and
good
kind of
point.
operates like outside the bounds of the canon, which is something that Noah Hawley talked about a lot. But what
Yeah.
we have here is something that's set like pretty far into the future from the last thing we've seen in the
Yeah,
Blade
50
Runner
years.
universe. So, I mean, they have like in some ways they have more creative freedom to play in that sandbox than Alien Earth
Yeah.
did because they don't have to have anything set in the right place for what comes after it chronologically. But they
Yep.
do have to play within the bounds of where things were left off in 2049. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I have to put this on my radar as well.
Yeah.
All right, my number 14. I have The Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping here.
We will talk about that in a minute.
All right. What you got at 13?
Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Okay, I had this in my honorable mentions, so let's talk about it
Okay.
here.
We'll talk about it here then. So the Super Mario movie was obviously a smash hit. Uh, Broke all types of made a buttload of money and was actually a really good movie. There's mixed opinions about the Super Mario movie. I don't care. It was fun. I had a great time watching it.
Crowd pleaser to the max.
Yes, and
Talk about an
Super Mario,
unoffensive, good time movie.
100%. And Super Mario Galaxy, I think, is probably one of my favorite Nintendo video games. I really like that game, and so to have like the big grand symphony behind the music in that game is going to be a lot of fun. I think the story that we've seen that they're going to tell through the trailer that we've gotten so far seems like it's going to be really fun. And just like the way that this movie is going to look, I mean, you can just tell from the trailer, it's going to be a breathtaking animated movie.
I think it's going to be a step
make
up on the animation front.
Yes, it's going to make $6 billion. It's going to be a lot of fun. And why I'm excited is I truly think I might be able to take my daughter to this movie. I think she might be at the
Ye-
age where like
April.
she
She's gonna
might
be
want to do that.
yeah.
Almost two. Like it's if it's the right time of the day, we could take her and she might
Nice
be
little
locked in. I don't
matinee.
know. We'll see. We'll see. But I know I'm really excited for this movie. I mean, after the Super Mario movie, I had Peaches stuck in my head for an insane amount of time.
Yeah, I
So
mean it's
I
gonna be brought back. I'm sure they're gonna do another riff on it.
I I just hope Jack Black can live up to Peaches. I hope that I have another song that I am just
It's
singing on repeat.
it's a high bar.
It
But
is
I
a
have
very high
faith.
bar. You're
I
right.
have faith in Bowser. Yeah,
Yep.
I like I said, I had this in my honorable mentions. I I really liked the first Super Mario Bros. Movies. Um, this I think the best way to describe my hopes for this is that I hope it's fun. Like you said, it's going to make a buttload of money. I think there just like is like this market now for these like kind of just by the books like fun, entertaining kids movies, animated kids movies, and there always has been. But like the expansion of the Mario lore will be fun to track.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I
And
said, look, I
Yoshi,
know this is
we get
not going
Yoshi
to
here.
be a deeply profound. Yeah, we get Yoshi. This is not going to be a deeply profound movie. It's not going to make me think or like question anything, but I am going to have a good time at the movie theater. I can tell you that much. And that excites me. And that's what this list is about.
That's all that matters.
Now, moving into my number, was that was 13? Moving into my
Wait,
number
I have to do my
12.
13 now.
No, because my number 12 is your number 15. Or where was Hunger Games Sunrise at the Reaping for you?
I
Because
had
that's my
that at
next one.
14. But
Okay, so let's talk.
I have to do my 13th though, because you just did 13, right?
Well, no, because you haven't discussed your 14 yet,
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that.
right? Right?
That's fine. Yeah. And I'll just come back
Oh
up
no, I
to
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
okay, do your
So
13.
where am I? So at my 13, I got Clayface here. I got
Didn't
Clayface at
make my
number
list.
13. Didn't make your list?
Nope. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Let's talk about it then. So we talked about Clayface here on this pod a number of times. It's coming out in September. It'll be the next entry into the DCU after Supergirl and Lanterns. And this is going to be just like a straight up, like, I'm pretty sure R-rated body horror movie.
Yeah.
And typically not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I don't really go out of my way to see these kinds of movies, but the Clayface character is like one of the most interesting, I think, Batman villains, and that's saying a lot because there's so many different like portrayals of the character where a lot of like we have
True.
like some recent comic runs where he's kind of a part of the Bat family,
Yeah.
on at his most extreme, but like a lot of times he's portrayed as like a morally gray character, who is like faced with just like a life-changing trauma that like turns him into this creature. I think we're going to be getting a more like I don't know if we're going to be getting a morally ambiguous character here. I think he might be more like portrayed more as like antagonistic, if anything, more villainous. I think that we're going to see a character. I mean, the the synopsis is that we're following a failed actor who I think he like injects himself with a substance to try to like maintain his youth and his good looks, and it transforms
A
him
little
into a
failed
monster.
Botox.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, I, Clayface is a character that I'm interested in, and I have found horror movies like this that I have enjoyed, and the intrigue is here for me.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's not that I'm not intrigued, but when I was going through my list, I already have two DC projects on here, and I was just thinking to myself, it's like, okay, Clayface, it has the potential to be really interesting and really neat, but also has the potential to really, kind of flop in a lot of areas just because of like the type of project that it wants to be. And I think taking that big swing is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a good thing that we are trying to bring some genre diversity into the DCU. I could also see that not working out well. So
Yeah.
that makes me a little bit nervous. And like you said, I'm not typically like a body horror type of guy. That's not my cup of tea. I will be seeing it. I am interested in it. Just didn't quite crack my top 15 list
Yeah.
based on like some of the not negatives, but some of the trepidations I have going towards it compared to the other DC projects I did put in my list.
Yeah. I think that's right. And this is not going to be anywhere close to like the highest grossing movie of 2026. It's just the rollout of the DCU in 2026 is interesting to me,
Very.
following on the heels of Superman and Peacemaker, like what they're choosing to release when.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to James Gunn just insisting that it's based on the quality of the script, and we're not going to put anything forward unless it's ready to go, which I think is what needs to be the case. But then it leads us to these situations where the universe might feel a little bit disjointed at the end of this year. But it also might not. Like, we're getting Supergirl, which is obviously going to follow Superman and the Peacemaker storylines. So I don't know. We'll talk about it more when we get to Supergirl, which I'm assuming is on our lists somewhere.
Yeah.
But just interesting placement for this movie in the DCU.
Very. Okay. My number 12.
Yeah, let's do it.
My number 12, your number 14, Hunger Games: Sunrise of the Reaping.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's talk about this. First of all, I just love a Hunger Games movie. It's just like
Yeah.
one of those concepts that is just like really fun to think about.
Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was surprisingly good.
Surprisingly,
That movie
good.
was pretty
And
highly ranked for me in 2024.
this movie follows the story of Haymitch in his Hunger Games, and I mean, I know I have not read the books. I don't really know anything behind this. All I know
And this
is
book
that
just came out last year, I think, or 2 years ago.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's a
you're not
pretty
even
recent
that
book.
behind on this one.
M said that this book was phenomenal. She loved it. She's a huge Hunger Games fan. I love the character of Haymitch, and based on what we've seen from the trailer so far, I think this is going to be super cool. We have a star-studded cast in this
Yep.
movie. Yeah, I mean, there's not much. It's the Hunger Games. I love the concept of the Hunger Games. It's really fun to watch. It's really thought-provoking, and Haymitch is a super cool character. So to be able to see where he came from, I think is going to be really, really cool.
Yes. 100%. It's also we're getting Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson back.
Yep.
Albeit in some capacity, I think very briefly. And I think the conceit there is that older Haymitch is telling Katniss and Peeta his story.
His story.
And so we might kind of get that opening scene to frame us that way, which would be interesting. You mentioned star-studded cast. McKenna Grace, want to shout her out really quickly. She is playing Nasally Donner, a tribute from District 12 and owner of the Mockingjay pin. So spiritual predecessor to Katniss Everdeen.
Katniss.
McKenna Grace is the niece of a buddy on the Friends from Work Discord, Tanner, who does some really awesome stuff on Instagram where he breaks down comics. He's put out some really interesting stuff. I think his page is called Tanner Breaks Down Comics, maybe.
Yeah.
And so that's Tanner's niece, and it's cool because like in the Discord,
Tanner breaks canon.
Tanner breaks canon. So check him out there. He does some really cool stuff talking about some ongoing comic series that I love. And this is his niece, and she's got a major role in this movie. So shout out McKenna Grace, shout out Tanner. And it's just like another interesting continuation of the trend that we've seen recently, filling in the blanks in these IP universes instead of going ahead in time. So kind of the opposite of Blade Runner 2099 and something in the same vein of Alien Earth, where we have these IP universes established that people love returning to, and more and more we're kind of seeing this trend of we're gonna tell a story in a period of time that we've already kind of passed through, but there's interesting stuff that was going on in the periphery that we can flesh out more.
Yeah.
So it's just an interesting observation that this is kind of like another. We're not doing a remake. We're not doing a prequel, although it kind of is a prequel, but it's not a sequel. So just interesting how all that stuff is kind of played out.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. Yeah, Phil. But it can be one of those things where it's hit or miss. But I think when you take a property like The Hunger Games and you take characters like Haymitch, which people love, to fill in a gap in his story is a great
Yeah.
idea. You know,
Yeah.
I think this is going to work out really well. So
I
looking
agree.
forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely
Um,
star-studded cast here. It's crazy.
no,
Jesse
it's
Plemons,
absurd.
Ralph
Yeah.
Fiennes, Glenn Close, Kieran Culkin, Elle Fanning, Maya Hawke. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Oh
This
yeah,
comes
Maya
out.
Hawke. I forgot Maya Hawke's in this
Yeah,
movie.
she's playing Wyrus, victor of the 49th Hunger Games.
So the previous year, because this will be portraying the 50th Hunger Games.
Yeah.
So she'll be like a mentor probably to somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'll be cool.
Yeah. All right, so it's my 12, right?
Yes, you're 12.
All right. At my 12, you might have this higher. I have House of the Dragon season 3.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Okay. What's
Okay,
your
my
11?
11. You'll probably have this higher. Lanterns.
Yep. We'll come back.
Okay, what's your 11?
My 11 is the new Narnia movie that's coming out, written and directed by Greta Gerwig.
Dude, I had a hard time not putting this on my list. Talk about it.
I got you.
I'm so glad that you put this on your list.
Dude, I have no idea, like, what this movie is going to be, aside from the fact that it's Narnia. I assume they're, like, readapting the first book.
Mhm.
I don't care. First of all, it's Greta Gerwig, who has
Yep.
proven herself to be one of the premier writer, director, creators in Hollywood. I trust her with
Yep.
whatever she wants to do. This is the project that she chose to tackle after the success of Barbie. She's
Yep.
doing it at Netflix, and she's used her clout in the industry to, like, secure at least limited theatrical release for this movie.
Mhm.
So yeah, I have no idea what this movie is going to be like, but I feel like it will be transportive.
Yeah. I love Narnia.
It's gonna be
I
dope.
just do. It's
Yeah.
it's an awesome story. I just
Yeah.
love the Narnia Chronicles.
And it was a movie series that, like, I have pretty vivid memories growing up on. I remember
we
seeing
grew
the first
up on
one.
that.
Carly and I had the GameCube game. I think that was based off the first
Ooh.
movie. We spent hours on
Mhm.
that thing in the basement. But yeah, I just, like, this is cool, and I don't think a lot of people really have it on their radars.
I agree.
But I think this is something that could potentially. Okay, I have a question about this one for you.
Okay.
Narnia, obviously, like, one of the big fantasy
Mhm.
universes, sandboxes to play in. I would say the biggest one that we've had in the last 5-10 years is the Thrones universe.
Mhm.
Do you think that this movie has the potential to, like, overtake Game of Thrones and Westeros as, like, the foremost fantasy IP universe of the 2030s?
That's an interesting question. Hard to answer off the get-go because obviously Game of Thrones spans
Yeah.
8 seasons of television, and really in a way kind of defined the modern era of
I guess I'm more so thinking not necessarily will the peak of this Narnia run, like, exceed the peak of Thrones and its run, more
but do
so
you
to
think it'll
say,
just
like, where we're at
hold
now
the
with the
conversation?
Thrones. Yeah, where we're at now with Thrones, where our tent poles are House of the Dragon, Dunk and
Mhm.
Egg, and some other
Mhm.
stuff in development.
Yeah.
Do you think where we're at with that now can be supplanted by the cultural interest in Narnia going forward in the next 5 years?
It's definitely got potential. I think that Narnia is, first of all, I mean, if the adaptation is closer to the text, people love more accurate adaptations of the text. So if that is the route that's Greta Gerwig is going, then I think that puts it in a good starting point. I think that Narnia is like almost like a foundational text for those of us who like are kind of like on the younger millennial side. It's one of those things that we grew up reading in school, we grew up watching. You ask any single person in their late 20s, early 30s, if they've read and or watched The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the answer is yes. It is like we just know it. We just know it. So it has built-in nostalgia factor, which obviously boosts it up dramatically. Yeah, no, I think that this could be, as you're saying, the new fantasy landscape that people are choosing to put themselves into.
I just think also the Netflix engine behind it is something else that can kind of power that.
Oh yeah, I
That
mean, you know
wave.
how it works. A successful movie turns into another one, turns into a series, so on
Yeah,
and so forth. Yeah.
exactly. All right, we're moving up to your number 10.
My number 10 would be let's see, Dune 3.
Okay, I have it a little bit higher.
I thought so. Your number
Uh,
10.
My number 10 is Supergirl.
I have that a little bit higher.
All right, number 9.
House of the Dragon season 3.
All right, I had it at 12. Let's talk House of the Dragon.
Yep.
I think this is good because we're going from Narnia into House of the Dragon. So,
Yeah.
all right, tell our listeners, tell our viewers why you are excited about House of the Dragon.
So, like I said, this is coming in at number 9 for me. Plain and simple, I love House of the Dragon. I think it's a great sequel series that we got to Game of Thrones. Amazing visuals, spectacular battles, compelling story. I just love every bit of House of the Dragon. It's one of those shows that does fall victim to the fact that it is 2+ years in between each season, which it does suffer because of that. There's no way around that. So ultimately, like, the hype train kind of dies down just naturally because of the time in between seasons. I think, if the turnaround was quicker, it would probably be higher on my list. And that's not to say that I think the quality is going to be any less. It's just like I haven't been excited for House of the Dragon season 3 for a little while now. And that's simply the only. I know when it comes out, I'm going to love it. It's going to be epic. And when the season is over, it's going to be another 2 years before we get season 4, which is the final season. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. I love this story. I love the characters. It's just I haven't had it in my mind for a while.
Yep, I'm right there with you. I had it at 12 for the same reasons. It would be much higher if, one, it weren't following up on one of the most frustrating season finales ever,
That's
or
true.
two, if we hadn't been waiting for the past 2.5 years for that follow up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is now set up to just like go 0 to 60 immediately and just give us a season of just like all out war, which is kind of
that's
what
the
we've
season
been.
that we're supposed to be getting, right?
That's what we've
Yeah.
been promised since this show was conceptualized. So yeah, I think this is going to be great, but I agree. I would be much more excited about it if not for those two things.
Yeah. And I know it's hard. It's a big show to produce. I'm not trying to blame anybody for that. It's just it sucks because
Yeah.
ultimately, like ultimately you just kind of forget about it.
Yep. My number 9, gonna go out on a limb and guess you have it higher than me. I have Daredevil Born Again season 2 at 9.
Dude, I totally forgot about this show. That's on me. That's on me. My bad.
Been too busy studying your EMT
idiot.
lessons.
I look like an idiot. Please talk
honestly,
about Daredevil
okay.
Born Again season 3
Okay,
or season.
season 2.
Thanks.
We've talked about this season of TV a good bit. I would say pretty recently. I think we talked about like our hype levels for this season of TV specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, so first of all, it's Daredevil, one of my favorite, like absolute favorite comic book characters of all time. This version of the character I absolutely love. So any more time that we get to spend with Charlie Cox and Matthew Murdock and Daredevil will be just appreciated full-heartedly.
Yeah.
When I was putting this list together, Daredevil came in a little bit lower than expected. But then you look at, I look at what I have above it, and I think what stands out about Daredevil season 2 here as opposed to what some of these other projects have going for them, is that this just does kind of feel like season two. Like, okay, we're coming back. We're coming back to this story. And it's a story that I am, super excited to get back into to follow up on Fisk's crackdown on vigilantes in New York and Matthew Murdock's recruitment of a vigilante team to take him on. Just like, that's everything that I could hope for to get from a Daredevil story. But it doesn't have that same sparkle, that same glimmer of here's Daredevil again for the first time since the Netflix series was canceled. Here's Daredevil fully fledged into the MCU for the first time. It feels like, it's going to be great to go back to this. But it's not like a Lanterns where this is something we've never had before. It's not like any of these other top projects where even if it is a character that we're revisiting, it's in a new kind of setting. It's with a new spin on it. We're diving back into the Daredevil story, and I'm so happy to be back.
Yeah, no, totally my bad for forgetting about this, because that would have changed my list.
That's why there's two Batcaves.
Very good point. No, I'm with you 100%. I'm looking forward to this. I'm not exactly sure where this would have fallen on my list, but it definitely would have been. It would have made the list if I hadn't forgotten about it. I'm with you with everything you just said. I'm also just more excited for this season because, season one kind of got wrapped up in a little bit of like behind the scenes.
Yeah, this is going to be our first opportunity to just see one singular vision for this show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is really going to be the time to flex, what they want this show to be moving forward. So I'm excited for that.
As I said that, I just realized there's something else that I don't have on my list that should be on the list. So don't worry about that. I'm just editorializing.
Okay.
I'm adding it to my honorable mentions.
To my number 8, which we'll talk about this here, I believe, because my number 8 is Supergirl.
Yep. All right. Lead us in.
Where did this come in for you?
Supergirl for me came in at 10. So pretty close.
10. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Supergirl, the follow up to Superman, the second cinematic installation into the DCU, a further exploration into this like super family that James Gunn is building out in the DCU, which I think is super interesting to do. I love what we've seen. So, do you like my pun there? What we've seen so far, Millie Alcock, I think could kill this role. We've gotten confirmation. We haven't seen him yet, but Jason Momoa will be playing Lobo.
We did get a very brief glimpse of him in the teaser trailer that came out.
You're right. In the teaser trailer, yeah. I forgot about that. That's like one of those castings that like, because he just came off of the DCEU playing Aquaman, but like he's just so perfect to play Lobo that he had to come right back into the DCU. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I've recently finished my reread of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, the Tom King run, the comic. Really, really amazing comic book. If you haven't checked it out, please do before the movie. It's a great story, great cast. I'm very curious to see this next installation into the DCU to kind of further flesh out what James Gunn's vision is going to be moving forward. I love that we are just in the DCU now. You know what I mean? I'm excited to be excited for the DCU.
Yeah, I echo all those sentiments. This at number 10 is a little bit lower than I kind of thought it would be ranked. The trailer, I thought it was a great trailer. It, in some respects, like lowered my hype level for the movie because it just like, it feels familiar, if that makes sense. So it doesn't necessarily feel like it's going to be groundbreaking or revolutionary in the space. It feels familiar and it feels like it's going to be like a great time at the movies. And I think Millie Alcock will really kill this role. But it doesn't look like anything that's going to change the landscape of IP storytelling necessarily.
That's a good point. Yeah. to put it into like layman's terms, you and I, when we saw Superman, I remember we afterwards went to our buddy Archon's house, and we pulled up in his driveway. You and I got out of our cars. We got out. We dabbed each other up. We fist bumped, and we were like,
I
"Heck
was bumping
yes, man!
the score from the
Heck
movie.
yes!" And I don't think that will be the reaction that we have leaving Supergirl. So I
I
know
think
what you
it
mean.
can be. I think you're right. I think you're right that it probably won't be exactly.
It won't be quite as hype, but also I think you got to take in situational awareness to that too, because we were hyped because I was like, oh, the DCU is kicking,
Yeah.
So now it's a little bit different circumstances, but I totally I know what you mean.
All right. We are now moving up to my number 8, right?
I think we're at your number 8, yeah.
Yeah, because you had
Or wait,
Supergirl at 8.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. My number 8, I have The Boys season 5. Do you have it higher?
Didn't make my list.
Didn't make the list. Wow. Okay. And that was intentional, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay. I want to know why. Because for me, this is honestly like there's some interesting synergy with Stranger Things here, insofar as it being the end of an era of television.
That's a good point.
The Boys, I was just thinking, like, The Boys season 1 was not too far after Stranger Things, right? Like maybe 2 years?
Yeah,
Let's
it was
see.
within that time frame.
This is good podcasting. Let's see. The Boys season 1 came out in 2019. Okay, so 3 years after after Stranger Things. So, but still in that kind, like, I feel like that 2016
pre-2020.
Yes, pre-2020. So it is just like another kind of like, this is the end of an era here. Although we are getting additional storytelling in this universe, similar to Stranger Things. But right. I think the continuations here will be more directly tied to the flagship show. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's interesting for me. I definitely have waned on my investment in this show over the past few years. But at the same time, like, I think specifically the Butcher Homelander story, I'm really looking forward to seeing how that resolves. Yeah. I think this show's biggest success is how Homelander has become like one of the most well-known villains in TV and movies in the 2020s.
Yeah, he's a premier. It's crazy that he's in the conversation of like all
like
time
a Thanos or Heath Ledger, whatever it might be. Yeah. Like, he's up there. And I think he's one of the most interesting characters on TV that we've gotten, in the past 10 years. And the resolution to his story is something I am very invested in seeing. I mean, one of the biggest talking points and criticisms for some people with the later seasons of this show is how much like our real world has changed to mirror this like absurd universe that was initially created as like a parody, like a wacky mirror to hold up to our world. Now it just looks like a regular mirror. So how the show grapples with the current state of our world and the similarities between the show and what we're living in, I think will be interesting. It'll anger a lot of right wing folks online, which I'm always here for. But what was the thought process for you with the Boys not making the list?
Yeah, I echo what you say about Homelander, and I'm really looking forward to his resolution. I'm still invested in these characters. Don't get me wrong. It's just I've kind of not fallen out of the Boys universe. I'm just a little tired of the Boys isms. I think that in retrospect, looking at Gen V season 2, I think looking back at it, I'm lower on it than I thought I was initially. I think I'm lower on it than like the general public. There's a lot in Gen V season 2 that really left me wanting more. And there's a lot of the Boys isms in Gen V season 2 that I'm just straight up tired of. And
I think that's fair.
I'm nervous that they will play those to no end in The Boys season 5. Just because like that is what The Boys TV show. That's what the boys universe does. They take the things that they're known for, the gore, the over the top, sexual jokes, things like that, and they just play them on repeat over and over and over again until they're no longer good. And I'm not saying that the show's no longer good, but you know what? Butt's a good word because I've already said it. If I have to watch somebody else crawl out of somebody else's butt, I'm so tired of that joke,
Diaper.
man. Like, I'm so tired of some of the jokes in The Boys, and I just
Yeah.
don't. I'm nervous that they're going to like dilute season 5 with some of these things that The Boys is so well known for, and it's just going to leave a bad taste in my mouth. I have high hopes. It just didn't make my list because I'm a little nervous.
Fair enough. I think that this show is ending at the right time. I think another season would be overstaying its welcome.
Yes.
But I don't think they're necessarily a year too late either. So it'll be interesting to see how we both come out on this show.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're in the top 7 now. I think things are about to start getting getting a little bit more chalky. So what do you got at 7?
Wonder Man.
Didn't make my list.
Cool. Okay. I was wondering about this one. Wondering. I keep doing that today. So Wonder Man
Super.
probably wouldn't have made my list like, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, but just like some of the
marketing is really cool.
The marketing's really good. We just recently got like some images of his like final like Wonder Man suit and what that's gonna look like, and I think that looks really, really cool. Honestly, what's getting me here is just the MCU, man. We're getting an MCU project this month. This
Like 2 weeks.
month.
2
And
weeks.
if I'm going to sit here and tell you that doesn't make me excited, I would be lying to you.
I
Like
love that.
that makes me excited. You know, that we are going to be within 2 weeks, you and I are going to be discussing an MCU project again.
Yeah.
I freaking love that. And I also think that this could be a sleeper show. I think that we might be
agree.
leaving this show surprised at the conversations
This
that we're having
feels
about
like
it.
an Agatha type show that, like, as far as the reception is going to get.
I like that.
It didn't make my list, but it was very close, and I'm genuinely excited for this show. I think Yahya Abdul-Mateen is awesome. I think getting Ben Kingsley back as Trevor Slattery is going to be great comedic stuff. The meta commentary that they're doing on superhero fatigue in the show, timely. I think it's going to be funny.
If done well, it's going to hit.
Yeah. Destin Daniel Cretton as like the creative force behind the show. Just like, sign me up for more of him, more DDC, getting Spider-Man later this year too. As far as why it didn't necessarily make my list, I think it's more so just a reflection of like the excitement that I have for the stuff that came in above it. And the fact that we do have a lot of really exciting stuff coming this year. I was grappling pretty hard between Mando and Wonder Man here. I won't lie. As my 15 spot, but I think what knocks it down a peg, I think, is the binge release side of things. Yeah. Despite the marketing, I think, being really smart, it doesn't feel like they're marketing it necessarily from a place of like supreme confidence in the quality or like the reception of the show, which like gives me a little bit of like hesitancy. But at the same time, like, again, I think it's going to be a lot of fun and like maybe some surprising ties to the overarching story. Like I saw in the most recent trailer, we're getting Agent Cleary back from the Department of Damage Control is going to be appearing. So maybe some synergy there with like the other damage control stuff that's coming. Like imagine they'll be appearing in Vision Quest and they will be appearing in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So there's a potential there for like that, a lot of crossover stuff.
Yeah, and just in terms of like the marketing trepidations and stuff, like I totally with you. I don't disagree at all, but I will just bring up, we had similar feelings about Ironheart, and we both liked Ironheart more than we thought we would.
Yep, absolutely. That's something else that's on my mind too.
Yeah. So that's what I got for Wonder Man.
You got Wonder Man at 6?
At 7.
Oh, at 7. Okay, then here is where we're going to talk about Lanterns, which is my number 7.
Which is my number 11. 7-11.
7-11. I honestly like don't have too much to say here. Like we've talked about Lanterns a good bit. I mean, this is going to be, it's an HBO show. So we're getting, it's a prestige television show set in the DCU.
Yeah.
The showrunners give me supreme confidence. We got Chris Mundy, who did Ozark, and I think he was on True Detective. We got Damon Lindelof, who lost Watchmen, and Tom King, like, who wrote Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. He's like one of the premier comics writers out there right now. The on-screen talent we've talked about. We got Kyle Chandler. We got everybody's favorite Texas high school football coach playing Hal Jordan. We got Aaron Pierre, the rising star, as Jon Stewart. Nathan Fillion's back as Guy Gardner, and it's going to be interesting, the tone shift, but from Superman and Peacemaker to Lanterns, which is going to be more grounded and serious. And the fact we're getting the Green Lanterns on Earth solving a cosmic crime, that's just a great hook for a prestige television show.
100%.
And so, we were supposed to be getting this TV show earlier this year than we're going to be. I think it's set now to come out late summer. It's supposed to come out like springtime, but they moved it apparently for marketing, I guess, like marketing reasons, to time it up better with other stuff that's going on, fit it into the HBO calendar. Bit of a bummer.
Probably to line it up with House of the Dragon.
Yeah, that could be it. It's not, this doesn't like make me worried about the quality of the show by any means.
No. I'm with you. Everything about the show, I think, sounds awesome. I love the fact that we're getting multiple Green Lanterns in one show. We've never had that before. We've never seen a project with, outside of the animated universe, that has multiple like Earth-based lanterns. That's something that I'm really excited to explore. I love that we're getting live action Jon Stewart. He's my favorite Lantern. I love Jon Stewart, especially from like the Justice League animated series. Freaking love that character growing up. So excited to get his portrayal on screen. This is going to be super cool. I love the vibe that they're taking, like the true crime detective show. I think it's going to be interesting. I just hope that we do get enough of like the space cop like power set portrayed in this show. You're muted.
The cosmic side of things, right? Like that's, I hope they don't forego the cosmic for the gritty, grounded Earth detective stuff. I think there's a perfect formula to combine the two satisfactorily.
We have 3 guys all wearing power rings. If we don't get the right amount of, amalgamation, if we don't get the right amount
we need cool stuff. We need cool stuff.
Like we need somebody making a giant hammer. We need somebody making a jet plane out of their ring. Like, if we don't get that, I'm gonna be disappointed. So just make it happen. Make it happen, please.
I have faith. in what they're going to do for us. And I think they're going to utilize it correctly. So,
yes.
Lanterns, very hyped.
Yep.
Number 6, what do you got?
Oh, I know you don't have this. Number 6, I have The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender.
Honorable mention for me.
Ooh, it made your honorable mentions? I didn't even think it was going to make your honorable mentions.
It's on my radar for sure. Let's talk.
Okay. Yeah, man. I just freaking love the Avatar universe. I've rewatched The Last Airbender too many times. I'm already like planning out when I can start to rewatch it again with my daughter. And unfortunately, it's still going to be years away, but I'm looking forward to that day. Listen, I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. I love Korra. We're getting another series in 2027. I don't remember the name of it. It's like, Avatar 7 Havens, following a earthbending Avatar set further in the future. There's just a lot of story that can be told, like we've been talking about, like the intermediate stories of Aang and the gang, a little bit older, a little bit more mature, and just following that team that we grew up with, that we love so much. There's a lot of ripe storytelling there. I'm very excited for it. I'm nervous, though, because of some drama behind the scenes with the creators. The original creators were like set to be on this, and then they got taken off of it. And there's been like a whole back and forth on that. And, I'm not going to try to, I don't know too much about it. All I know is that there's just been some drama behind the scenes of like the creators being attached and not attached to the project. So that does make me nervous.
Well,
but
what
man,
I can
oh
tell
man,
you
do I
about
love
that.
Avatar.
Yeah. What I can tell you about that is this was one of the reasons this didn't make my list is because it's at Paramount. Um,
That's a good
Paramount
point.
sucks.
Yeah.
They've pulled it from theaters. This is going to be a streaming only release now. It was initially set to release in theaters, and the powers that be at Paramount don't think that this is worthy of a theatrical release
Yeah.
because, presumably, because it's an animated movie that's suitable for children to watch, and so that, for whatever reason, tells Paramount that it's not as valuable. That stinks. And the fact that
It does stink.
the original creators were initially attached and are no longer, that also gives me some serious pause. But I'm still holding out hope. I, like you, love Avatar. I did a full series watch through during COVID. It was honestly beautiful and much needed in a dark time. And yeah, just going back into this world and spending more time with like this core group of Aang and the gang. Just there's too much potential there for it not to be something that I'm at least a little excited about.
Yeah, no, with what you said about Paramount, 100%. That is a big, you know, X on why this
Yeah.
could not be good. However, I'm not going to let that taint my excitement for the fact that we're getting more Aang related Avatar stuff. Now, if it's bad, we'll have another
This is it.
conversation.
Yeah,
But for
exactly.
now, I'm still excited. I'm still excited.
I appreciate that. Okay, this is my number 6. I have Dune 3 here at number 6, so a little bit higher than you, right?
Yeah, I have it at
think
10.
you
Let's
had
talk about it.
At 10. Honestly, I like when I was initially putting this all together, I thought Dune was going to be like top 3, top 5 at least. So ended up a lot lower than I thought it would be. Absolutely love the first two. I've read Dune, but I haven't read Dune Messiah, which is what Dune 3 is going to be based off of. So I only know what the internet has kind of vaguely hinted at about the plot here, and essentially that this movie is going to get very weird.
That's what I've gathered
Which
as well.
I'm here for it. And obviously, like, I mean, we don't even have to go through the list of like the creatives attached to this thing. Like, obviously, Villeneuve's back as a director. Timmy's back. Florence Pugh is going to get, some room to actually do some work here in this one. Zendaya's back. Her character, Chani, is not in Messiah, but they're writing her into the story because it's Zendaya. And I think that's right.
Yeah.
And Robert Pattinson is here. So,
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what's to come except that we're going back to this world, and that really excites me.
Yeah, I'll keep this short and simple. The only reason why Dune 3 is not higher on my list, and I don't even know if you know this, I have not seen Dune 2.
It upsets me.
I know. It's one of those things that when Dune 2 came out, that was like right after my daughter was born, and so like I did not get around to it.
Parenthood.
Oh my
geez.
goodness. It's almost like it's a huge time obligation.
I have to raise a human being.
So I didn't get around to seeing it in theaters, and off principle, I was like, you know what? If I'm not going to go see this in IMAX, I don't want to see it. And then I just didn't get around to seeing it, and now I'm just like, okay,
it'll re-release. I'm sure.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm just waiting for my rewatch. I'm going to rewatch Dune 1. I'm going to watch Dune 2 for the first time, and I will not be watching the series that came out based on your recommendations.
Not worth your time.
So I'm excited to do my Dune 2 watch in preparation for my Dune 3 watch. And I'm sure this would be higher on my list if I did see Dune 2, but
Yeah,
I can't because I haven't seen Dune 2 yet. So
gotta be honest. That's
I'm
what
looking
the people
forward to
come
it.
here for.
Yep.
Let me ask you this. So the Dune 3 is currently set to release the same day as Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
Dune has to move, right?
Dune has to move.
I think Dune moves up toward Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Dune has a lot of power. Don't get me wrong. It's Avengers freaking Doomsday.
And they're fighting over IMAX screens too.
Yes. And if anybody hasn't noticed yet, neither of us have brought up Avengers Doomsday yet. And that's for a reason, because it's higher on the list. So Dune has to move.
I think Dune will move. I don't think everybody's like, oh, but Barbenheimer. I think why this isn't going to be another Barbenheimer is because what was so special about that was it was really a Venn diagram between people who wanted to see Barbie and who wanted to see Oppenheimer. The Venn diagram for Doomsday and Dune is a circle.
It's a circle.
So
we all want to see the same thing.
So it's a
Plus,
question of whether or not
Doomsday doesn't sound as good as Barbenheimer.
It's good. I like Doomsday, but it's not Barbenheimer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not Barbenheimer. And so it's a question of, are people going to be dedicated enough to go see both of these movies opening weekend, or are they going to choose? And if they choose, which one are they going to choose? I don't know.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Top 5.
What are we at?
Real.
Top 5? My number 5?
Yeah, you're at 5.
Okay. I forget where this came in for you. Mandalorian and Grogu.
This came in at 15 for me. So,
okay.
A little different.
Listen. Again, I'm gonna keep this short, sweet, and simple.
Yep.
Star Wars is back in movie theaters.
Popcorn,
That's
baby.
it. That's all I need. You and I will be there opening weekend watching Star Wars in movie theaters, and that alone is worth a top 5 spot for me.
I got one question for you. I'm with you. This is going to be a fun time. It's going to be Star Wars back in theaters. We're going on an adventure with Mando and Grogu. I don't care. The Midnight Boys on their latest episode did an over-under for how many Force users they think will appear in this movie. I think they had it at 3.5.
Okay, I haven't listened to that episode
where would
yet.
you fall there? So obviously the pool of potential appearances, we got Luke, we got Ahsoka, Sabine's around, Ezra's around. Are there any dark side Force users? I mean, we got
There's good.
the non-Sith from Ahsoka season 1, but I don't think they're going to be involved because they're in another.
I'm gonna say over 4. Over 3.5. Over 3.5. Yeah. I'll bet you a popcorn bucket.
The problem is, I think I agree, and those popcorn buckets cost my weekly salary.
So we each buy a popcorn bucket, and if we're wrong, we give them back to the movie theater, and we don't get a refund.
We pay it, double it, and give it to the next person.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
right,
I'm just so excited to have Star Wars back in movie theaters. I really am.
Yeah, seeing the trailer in theaters is also something that contributes to the excitement for me.
Yeah.
All right.
And I gotta say, each time I see this poster, I love the poster. I just do.
Good at it's like Indiana Jones coded.
Yeah, I love it.
My number 5. Everything in this top 5 is a frickin' heavy hitter. At 5, I have Invincible season 4. Do you have that higher?
That's my 4.
Okay. Well, then let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
So we leave off at the end of season 3 with the conquest fight. It's been a while since I've read through the comics. I don't remember exactly what's coming, but I know that everything just kind of blows wide open at this point. And we're going to get crazy. Matthew Rhys is lending his voice to the season of TV as Dinosaurus. You don't need to know who Dinosaurus is. You just need to know there's a character named Dinosaurus, and Matthew Rhys is voicing him, and that's all I need to say. I will be seated.
Thrag is also in this season, voiced by Lee Pace.
Oh, that's right. We got Lee Pace as Thrag. That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got one question for you here, because obviously we're both thrilled for this. We love the comics, have loved the first 3 seasons. To this point in this series, the show's has hewed pretty closely to the comic storyline. Mm-hmm. Season 4 onward, how close do you want the TV show to remain to the storyline of the comics?
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough question. Because as you said, we both read all of the comics. It's been a while, but we love the Invincible comics. And what I do remember is what you remember, that at this point, after the conquest battle, is really when the story just opens wide up and just crazy things start happening. And I mean, you get, Eve has her power. Sorry, spoiler alerts. I'm not going to get into it. Doesn't matter.
We don't have to. We don't have to.
Yeah.
Just know it gets insane.
It gets insane at this point, and there's a lot of different things going on that just realistically we don't have time for in this series. it would be really cool if we could explore certain avenues in maybe some spin-off series or like special animated events like they did the Adam Eve event. There's like a one storyline in particular that you and I are thinking of that
Robot
could
and
be
Monster Girl.
really well,
Yeah,
yeah,
Rex and
Robot and
Monster
Monster
Girl.
Girl that could be really well suited to an animated special. I think that would be awesome.
That would be cool. I could see that just
It's
being
gonna
its own episode.
it's gonna be tough to stick straight to the comics from this point on because of just like how much happens and how much more content there is to cover, how much more story is involved. It's a deep, thick story, you know, like that.
Yeah.
The source text is involved,
It's
and
dense.
so it's dense and it's a phenomenal read. If you haven't read it, go do it, please. I love it. But yeah, it's there's certain beats that I need to be hit in order for this show to be a successful adaptation in the end. I don't know how many seasons we'll be getting of this, but um they're going to have to stray to answer your question. They're going to have to,
Yeah.
and I hope that they choose wisely. They have so far and what they have decided to omit and what they've decided to add. I'll just say this much to wrap up the Invincible. I mean, listen, I'm on a Kirkman high right now. I love Robert Kirkman. We got Battle Beast last year.
Dude, hold on.
Oh,
Speaking of Robert Kirkman,
show me what I want to see.
I came empty-handed to your house on New Year's Eve knowing that your birthday had just happened. And that was due to some unforeseen issues with shipping with the initial gift. Next time I see you, this is yours.
Oh, dude, let's go.
Issue 1, I think they call it like the magazine stand edition. Oh, no, the Treasury edition.
The Treasury edition. It's the big boy.
This is my gift to you is this book, but my other gift to you is the fact that I read this, and
even better.
It's awesome. I got to go back and pick up what I'm behind on.
First
next
of all,
time I see you,
thank you for the gift. I can promise you that will be taking one of the spots behind me. I can't decide. Maybe it might replace TMNT. I don't know. We'll see. Because I love the artwork. So thank you. Second of all, we got Battle Beast last year. We have Skinbreaker going on right now. Another Kirkman thing. He's talked about some other projects that he's thinking about putting out. I love Robert Kirkman. That great. It's all great.
All right, so that was your number 4, which means we're over to me for my 4. I have Project Hail Mary here at number 4.
Okay. Didn't make my list. It's in my honorable mentions because of the whole IP thing.
That's the only one that's like a bit of a stretch. It's an adaptation from a book, so technically IP, but doesn't really fit what exactly like the kind of IP stuff that we do. But I'm so excited for this movie that it has to be on the list. I mean, it's the next adaptation of a work written by Andy Weir, who did The Martian. Ryan Gosling's playing a science teacher who goes into space to save the world and makes friends with an alien. And quite frankly, that's all you need to know. It's directed by Lord and Miller, who did the Spider-Verse movies. We got Daniel Pemberton on the score, who I think he also did some of the Spider-Verse scoring, just like a great like behind the camera creative team. Ryan Gosling. I mean, this is a great story. It's coming out in March, so really soon. And I'm just really excited for this one.
Yeah, I am too. I haven't read the book, but everything you've told me about it sounds right up my alley. Really looking forward to it. Would have made my list, but I cut it off because of the whole IP rule that we have self-imposed. So that's all.
Yeah. Question here, just really quick. Do you think this movie will overperform or underperform its box office expectations?
Do you know what the box office prediction is? It's probably too early for that.
Let me see. Let me see if there's anything online. But just as I do that, you tell me what you think are the strengths and the weaknesses of this movie's box office performance.
I mean,
as I mute my dogs.
I think that this movie, I think it has potential to overperform for a couple of reasons. One, Ryan Gosling is a Hollywood sweetheart right now. 2, it's a space movie, and people freaking love space movies. And 3, I think this is going to be a massive word of mouth movie. I think that this is going to be one of those things that people who know, who are excited, who just want to go to the movie. Oh, Ryan Gosling new movie, let's go see it. Or people who like know the book, people who are aware of this property already are going to go see it, and it's going to be an exceptional movie, and then people are going to talk about it, it's going to blow up, and then it's just going to take over. I kind of foresee that being the trajectory here.
I've read some discourse online about Ryan Gosling's unreliability as like a box office draw, which is interesting to me. You don't really think about that, but
No.
I mean, what was the most recent thing that he did as like a big box office movie? It was probably The Fall Guy
Yeah.
in like 2023, and that one didn't do too well, even though I really like that movie.
Well, I mean, Barbie.
Well, yeah, Barbie, of course. So I don't know. I think it'll do well. I do think it'll do well. All right, now it's time. I think we we have the same top 3, right?
I would assume so.
It's in some order: Odyssey, Spidey, and Doomsday.
Correct.
Okay, so we've talked about all 3 of these projects pretty in depth. So what I think, I just want to know, I got to know, what's your 3, 2, 1?
My 3, 2, 1 is Brand New Day, Odyssey, Doomsday.
Okay, I have Odyssey, Brand New Day, Doomsday.
Okay.
So the only thing we have different there. Let me ask you this. This will be interesting. Let me ask you this. Why are you more excited for the Odyssey than Spider-Man?
Okay.
You're like, I wasn't ready for that.
A pro towards the Odyssey and a con towards Spidey, I think wraps it up pretty well. One, that prologue that we saw. Sorry, my dog's got to get situated here. That prologue that we saw was
electric,
jaw dropping. I mean,
like I was levitating.
Dude, that was so freaking good. I love Greek mythology. I think that the story of Odysseus is like, it's like the hero's journey, it's like that's like the original hero's journey. I am really looking forward to this freaking movie, man. And then
apparently it already had its first test screening like earlier this week. Like Christopher Nolan already has a wrap on the movie. Like I'm sure they're gonna make tweaks and stuff
crazy.
And
that's
final edits and stuff, but he has a version of the movie that they screened like a week ago.
The costume design of Agamemnon alone got me going, man. That was sick. The cast involved, I could go on, but
this is technically IP because it's based off a book.
It's based off a book, the book. Also, I would at this point consider Christopher Nolan properties IP in and of itself. Nolan is IP.
I could entertain the argument.
We can talk about that at a different day. Speaking of a brand new day. The thing that puts this behind the Odyssey for me is I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the story. Everything we've gotten behind it sounds awesome. The cast involved, the story involved, street level, all this and that. We've gone at it at lengths. There's a lot going on in this movie with how many people we have attached to it. A little nervous, just a little nervous with how much it's doing, and it is the one movie we have in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. No. Sorry. It's the one movie that I totally messed that up. It's the one movie that we have going into Secret Wars.
Before, the last kind of real table setter,
or before, going into Doomsday. And so it's just like it is going to have to bear the weight of some of that responsibility of setting up Doomsday in a sense, which is just another thing to add to the list of things that this movie needs to get done. When you throw in all those elements, things can go wrong, but I trust the creative team behind this movie at all ends to produce something that's awesome. So that's it.
Yeah. For me, the only reason that Brand New Day is above Odyssey is just because like Spider-Man is the reason I love this stuff. Like just the character and the mythos behind Spider-Man and Peter Parker is what got me into comic book movies. It's what got me into like this world of IP stuff that we spend so much time thinking and talking about. So the baseline for excitement for a Spider-Man movie is like a 9. And there's just so many little bits and pieces about this movie that elevate it even higher for me, from the double-edged sword of like how many characters and cast members that we have that we're excited about, um the fact that we're finally kind of getting this ground level matured version of Tom Holland's Peter Parker,
Yeah.
uh the mystery behind Sadie Sink and
Yep.
what character she might be playing. There's so much going on. And I just think at a time when there's so much uncertainty about the MCU and Marvel, like there's just such a reliability factor with Spider-Man that like I am not going to be nervous going into this movie. I'm going to be just so excited. Um, Now at the same time, like I also think that the Odyssey has like goat potential. Like this could
Yep.
be my favorite movie of all time when it's all said and done.
Yep.
Um, but it doesn't have Spider-Man in it. So
That's a great point.
that's
Well,
why it's
actually,
2-3.
you know what, buddy? You're wrong. It technically does. Tom Holland is in this movie. So
Yeah, and Punisher.
and Punisher.
Crap, I
Yeah,
gotta go
man.
change my list. But
Um,
I mean, like we said, 3, 2, 1. Like I'm pretty sure for you, they're probably pretty interchangeable. All three of these, Odyssey, Brand New Day, and now we'll finally talk about Doomsday, like are just as far as like the top three on a hype list for any year of like the last.
it's a
I
good
would say
top
going
three.
back to Endgame, like it's as strong as it's gotten.
It's a good top
Um,
three.
So, and again, I think we've talked a lot about each of these three projects in our
Yeah.
previous episodes. So we don't have to like go through and like just talk generally necessarily about why we're so excited, although we can. But what I want to how I want to frame our Doomsday discussion is how our hype levels have changed since this teaser trailer campaign got kicked off. Because
That's a good way to put it.
for me, it's really worked. It's really worked. Um, I've loved everything that we've seen, like visually, how this movie looks, the prospect of the story that we're going to be getting. And I don't know, man. Like it's an Avengers movie. It's the first Avengers movie and it'll be more than 7 years. And there's something about that. Like there's you can make an argument that they're feeding us slop. I will argue against that in some respects. But at the same time, like sometimes I'm gonna oink. As simple as that.
Listen, this is a most anticipated movie of 2020 of project movie TV project whatever. Thank you. Of 2026 list. If Doomsday wasn't at the top of our list, I think there would be an issue here. I really do. I mean, this is the beginning of the end for the multiverse saga. Uh, this is what we've been working towards. This is what everything it has been going for since 2019. And I am tremendously excited for that, given, the ups and downs of the MCU over the last 8 years, 7, 8 years. Given, anything that we may have heard about this movie leading up to now, I don't care. This is the first Avengers movies, as you have said, since in 7 years, and that is so exciting. The trailers, like you said, have been, I think, pretty successful. We've gotten some great stuff. We had the return of Cap, a good monologue from Thor, the freaking X-Men, and now I haven't seen the leaked one, like I said, but tying in some more of that multiverse saga connective
The new
tissue.
characters, yeah.
I think is really cool. I'm agree with you. I think we're gonna get like a Doomsday reveal during the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we'll get the Doom
Yeah,
reveal
man.
there.
I mean, listen, if you're here watching us on Between Two Batcaves, you know what we're about. Obviously, we're excited for Doomsday, man. I
Yep.
mean, this is where it all started for us, I mean, yeah, sure, we grew up watching Transformers. We grew up watching, TMNT, other things like that. But man, when the MCU really got started, when we saw Iron Man 1, from then on out, man, I mean, that was a game changer for us. I
Oh yeah.
mean, that is who we are at our core. We are MCU fans, and I'm always going to be excited for the
The
culmination
Avengers movie.
of
Yeah.
of it. Yeah, for an Avengers movie, I'm always going to be excited, and that's where I stand with this movie.
Uh, I'm with you. I think we got a really, really exciting year ahead of us for IP stuff. Um, I mean that's it. That's our list. Do you want to go through? Let's go through
Sure,
whatever
just top to
honorable
bottom,
mentions we
or
have left, and then I just want to
honorable
hit on a
mentions.
few non-IP things that wouldn't that couldn't make this list, but that I'm excited
Sure,
for.
sure, sure. Yeah, I won't
Um,
go into detail on honorable mentions. I'll just kind of list them out here.
yeah.
Um, okay, honorable mentions. I have Spider Noir, project coming out from
Ooh, I
Amazon
didn't. Yeah,
Studios, featuring Nick Cage. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. I have The Minions 3. I don't know if you
that
know this
didn't make
about me.
mine.
I freaking love the Minions. I think they're hilarious. So I'm really excited to put on the Minions for Lucy and just have her running around the house, just blabbling nonsense that the Minions do. It's gonna be a fun
Banana.
time for me. Yeah. I have Coyote versus Acme.
I had that on mine
A
too.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. The most recent Looney Tunes movie, The Day the World Blew Up, was really, really good. I enjoyed that, and I
Yeah,
like that we're getting some more Looney Tunes um, back in media. Toy Story 5, I have on my
yep,
list for honorable mentions. I'm just
yep,
excited to see how they handle iPad kids.
yeah.
And Hail Mary made my honorable mentions. And then lastly, Masters of the Universe is on my honorable
Ooh, yeah,
mentions. A little bit before our time, but still very excited to see what that
yeah.
is.
As far as honorable mentions go that haven't been mentioned yet, the only other two that I had on my list, I had three actually. I had Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which
Mm.
comes out in like a week, and I'm excited for it, but not like that thrilled. Um, Ted season 2 on Peacock. Did you ever watch season
Ooh,
1 of Ted?
yeah, that was a good one.
Dude,
Yeah,
it is funny. That is a funny
yeah,
show.
yeah. I
Very
forgot about
Family
that.
Guy coded, obviously, and they're coming back with a second season. And then this is one that I realized as we were going today that should have made my list probably is Vision Quest,
Mm,
the new Marvel series coming out later this year, starring Paul Bettany back as White Vision, James Spader's coming back as Ultron. They've got like human versions of all of the different AIs throughout the MCU. Follow up on the hunt for this will be Tommy Maximoff.
yeah,
I,
it's hard to make a
I'm
list of 15, man. It really is.
It is. It is. I'm excited for this though, and I think it'll be really good. Good team behind the camera too. Um, but yeah, that's all I got as far as IP stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff coming this year. Um, I'm interested to know like what our listeners and viewers are most excited to hear us talk about. I and I'm going to do the same thing here. I got like a handful of TV shows and movies that are not IP related, but that I'm very excited for this year. So movies, we got a new Spielberg Alien movie coming out starring Emily
Emily
Blunt
Blunt.
and Josh O'Connor called Disclosure Day. Looks like it's going to be tackling like how does the world respond to like confirmation of alien life. That'll be interesting. Um, Another one I'm excited for is the drama starring Robert Pattinson and Zendaya, who play a couple that are engaged and going through the plans of getting married. And as the title implies, drama ensues. I think that'll be, I mean, Pattinson and Zendaya together
Wait,
is going to be
you're
fun.
telling me that's not Dune 3?
It basically is. It's Dune 3.5. Remember The Lion King 2.5
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
1.5? It's like that. Um, and a few more here. So there's a comedy coming out that's been written by Trey Stone and Matt Parker of South Park fame, along with Kendrick Lamar. I don't
Oh
know
yeah,
anything about what this is going to be about, but like those three together making a funny movie that I'm sure will be rife with social commentary. I'm here for.
yeah.
Um, New Tom Cruise joint directed by
Oh,
Alejandro Inarritu called Digger, where Tom Cruise is playing a grave digger who has to save the world.
yep,
Sounds like Mission Impossible 9. I will be seated. The final two movies that I have on my list here are there's a Peaky Blinders movie coming. I was super in on Peaky like for the first few seasons, kind of fell off, but I might have to get back on so I can catch this movie. And then finally, a sequel to The Social Network called The Social Reckoning. Now, I don't know how to feel about that because Jesse Eisenberg is not returning as Zuckerberg, and I'm pretty sure the two-handed creative team behind The Social Network, only one will be back. So there's some questions there. But I mean, Social Network is one of the best movies of all time, and
Is
I mean,
is Andrew Garfield coming back?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. So interesting stuff going on there. And I'll wrap up with just, I got a few TV shows here that I just have to mention. Survivor 50, the 50th season of Survivor. Maddie and I go through Survivor phases in our house like once a year usually. We're excited for this, man. Like, so they're bringing back like all the classic Survivor competitors for an insane season 50 that will be very fun to follow. New seasons of Shrinking and The Studio on Apple
Mm-hmm.
TV. Both two great shows.
Yeah.
I know, Austin, you've watched both of those, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so new seasons of Shrinking in The Studio will be a lot of fun. I don't think you watched season 1 of Paradise on Hulu. Did you?
Did not.
Interesting show. Has one of the best episodes of like single episodes of TV of the year from last year. So they're coming back for a second season. It's just like they burn through plot like crazy on the show, and it just like does some wild stuff. So that'll be fun. And last but not least, there's something that I came across while I was researching for this episode. There's a new TV show coming this year called The Fall and Rise of Reggie Dinkins,
Okay.
produced by Tina Fey and like the 30 Rock team, starring Tracy Morgan playing a washed-up NFL star who recruits an award-winning filmmaker played by Daniel Radcliffe to basically produce a documentary for him and restore his image. And there's going to be like a 30 Rock style comedy. And I think that could be a lot of fun. There's a lot of crossover for my interest there.
Yeah, that sounds neat.
So all that to say, there's a lot of stuff coming out in 2026. We're going to try to cover as much of it as we possibly can. And I'm curious to know like what our viewers and listeners are most excited for this year.
Yeah, no, me too. We covered a lot today. Curious to see the feedback, what people are thinking of these projects. If we missed anything, let us know. Jordan, great list. I like that we had some differentiation in our list.
Me too. I knew like the top 5 or so would be near identical, but then there was a lot. Yeah. There's so much coming out this year that there was room for some diversity.
Yeah, we got to talk about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
It's going to be even harder to narrow in what we're going to cover on the show.
Yeah. Before we close things out today, do you have any recs for our viewers and listeners? Anything you've been reading or anything you've been watching or listening to? You've been a little busy.
Nah.
The F1 soundtrack?
The F1 soundtrack. Yeah, great one. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen F1, go watch F1 and listen to the music. It makes you feel like you're driving a race car.
Folks, Austin has been going through it, studying for his EMT stuff and just going through firefighter training. So I've been picking up the slack on the comics reading. So what I've been reading this month, I picked up the Ultimates 19 and Ultimate Endgame #1. This is the kind of the start of the end of the Ultimate Universe for Marvel Comics, and we're getting a final battle that is epic in scale in Ultimate Endgame 1, and then the Ultimates takes place in the periphery of Endgame and focuses in on what's going on interpersonally for Wasp and Ant-Man, for Janet and Hank, and get some like really interesting storytelling going on with the two of those characters there. And then Absolute Batman Arc M. I don't know if you have this on your list, Austin. This is like
I do,
just like a one-off. Tells the origin story for Arkham Asylum in the Absolute Universe. Really interesting, really good single issue that I would recommend to anybody at home who likes comics. Got a lot of other stuff. Reading a lot of Batman. Reading a lot of the Ultimate Marvel stuff and some indie stuff that's going on. So it's a great time for comics. I think 2025 was probably, it has to have been one of the best years for the comics industry in a long time. With the Absolute stuff, the Ultimate Universe.
I was going to say, that's a
indie
big
comics that are killing it.
Stuff, yeah.
Yeah. But that's what I got going on. Austin, I know you got sure you got a little girl over there who's starting to rise up and look for
Man,
the
we're headed to
horses.
Costco. We're headed to Costco after this.
Ooh, can I come?
Yeah,
Pick me up on the
I
way?
mean, yeah.
Yeah,
We'll circle
it's on
back
the
to
way.
you. Come back here. Yeah, it's on the way.
All right. Well, folks, 2026. It's going to be a good year. Glad to have you here with us. Thank you for hanging with us on this episode of Between Two Batcaves. We are on all the socials, everywhere, at Between Two Batcaves with the number 2, except for the app formerly known as Twitter, where we are at B2 Batcaves, also with the number 2. We're having a lot of fun with the video content. We're posting our clips, full episodes on YouTube and Spotify. Got clips on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Hit us up on YouTube and TikTok. We're having a lot of fun there specifically. So subscribe to us, follow us, ring that notification bell, and leave some comments. Like there's been some discourse in our comment section, and it is a lot of fun to be a part of. So join in on the fun and let us know what you are most excited for in 2026.
And quick reminder here before you close out of the podcast app of your choice or video app, however you're consuming Between Two Batcaves. Like, rate, review, follow, share, subscribe, whatever the button is that you need to press to give us a little bit of feedback on how we're doing over
Are
here on
you in
Between
there,
Two
fishy?
Batcaves. Please do so. We would love to hear how we're doing. We're having a lot of fun. It seems like y'all are too, but just knowing which direction we're going in is always helpful so that we can continue to do the things that you guys like or stop doing the things that you guys don't like or keep doing the things that you guys don't like. Depends on the situation.
One of those things will happen.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, we'll be having fun. So from our Batcaves to yours, thanks for hanging with us, and we will see you next time.
See ya.